Okay, just in case anybody gets extremely ambitious and works these sample problems, I want to do the first video on these two sample problems. Finding the greatest common factor is not something we did in 7th grade math, but you did it in 6th grade math. You need to find the greatest common factor of 12 and 18. I'm going to show you a method that I liked last year. It's now some of you may just see the answer to this one, so bear with me, but this may be a method you haven't seen before. I'm going to create a factor tree for 12 and 18. Any two factors that will give me 12, so 6 times 2. Every time I have a prime factor, I'm going to circle it. 6 is not prime, it's composite, so 3 times 2. And those are both prime numbers, so I'm done with 12. For 18, I'll do the same thing. We could use any two factors of 18. 9 times 2. 2 is prime. 9 is 3 times 3. Circle my prime factors and I'm done. Now I'm going to use a Venn diagram to figure out the greatest common factor. I need two circles, one for 12 and one for 18. And I'll label them so I know which is which so I can check my work. I'm going to look at both of these factor trees for common prime factors. Both trees have a 3, so I'll place a 3 in the center, the part of the Venn diagram that represents both numbers. And I have another common factor. Both trees have 2 as a prime factor, so I'll place that in the center. And then the last two prime factors are not shared by both numbers, so I'll place them. For the 12, I'll place the last prime factor right there. And then for the 18, I'll place that 3 right here. And then I always want to check my work by looking at this circle, the 12 circle. If I multiply these 3 prime factors together, I should get 12. 2 times 3 is 6, times 2 is 12, so that checks out. And then check this circle for 18. Check the center. 3 times 2 is 6, and 6 times 3 is 18. So the Venn diagram is set up correctly, and if your Venn diagram is set up correctly with your prime factors, you can find the GCF by multiplying together the prime factors that are shared by both numbers. So GCF equals 3 times 2, or 6. So the GCF is 6, and that's answer choice B. Sample problem B asks us to find the perimeter of this square rug, the perimeter of the square rug in meters. The perimeter of one side is the length of one side is 3.2 meters. And if we look at the tax math chart, which is included in your tax test if you printed the whole thing, the formula for perimeter of a square is P equals 4S. So let's write that formula down. P equals 4S. So in this case, P, the perimeter, equals 4 times the side length, which is 3.2 meters. So 3.2 times 4. Now we have a multiplying decimals problem, which is something we did do this year. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 4 is 12. Remember, when we're multiplying decimals, we just ignore the decimal at first, and then we figure out the number of decimal places in our answer by finding the sum of the number of decimal places in our factors. 3.2 has 1 decimal place. 4, if I put a decimal, it would be right here. There are no numbers after the decimal, so that has 0 decimal places. So I should have 1 decimal place in my answer. One number after the decimal. So 12.8. So the perimeter of this square equals 12.8 meters. Okay, that was just a look at the two sample problems. We'll pick up the tax test review with problem 1 on the next video.